Welcome back to What She Said. Happy Easter. Um, a lot happening today. I took the day to relax. I hope your Easter was everything you wanted it to be if you celebrate Easter. A lot of stores, grocery stores were closed, so Easter still seems to be a protected holiday where, stores have closed and people spend time with family, friends, or getting rest. All right, so welcome back. Give everybody a chance to join us. See who's in the chat already. Somebody. Hey, Gracie, happy Easter. I hope you had a good one. I hope you had a good Easter. How was it? Do you celebrate Easter? All right. So I put together, while Gracie, I put together a video of grand prize. First time the first grand, grand prize and snow. Now, y'all know I have been waiting on photos of Coach Prime and his grandson. Honestly, I thought it might be closer to his first birthday. Um, but here we go. It looks like Snow has taken his first steps on Folsom Field. And he's not one yet. So you see Grand Prime, not Grandpa Prime, but Grand Prime, you know, is enjoying having his grandson on the premises. So he was at the I'm sorry, I'm so cute. It's just those little cheeks. He's so cute. He was at the spring game and his mom was there and she was overjoyed seeing her father with her son, which I know had to be a moment for her. Um, but he's so cute. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all not gonna be able to tell this baby nothing. If y'all think Shedeur and Shiloh and Bucky have confidence, this young man right here, you're not gonna be able to tell him anything. Now I don't know if he's gonna play sports or not. His father is in music. He might be like Grand Prime. He might have some bars, and then he also might play sports, like the rest of the family. Bucky makes music, plays sports. Shiloh and Shedeur and Coach Prime. So I just wanted to start off on a good note. Y'all know whenever I get a glimpse of him, I just want to share it. And it's so cute because I thought this was gonna happen when the season started. But she had him at the game, and it's funny. I didn't see any of this. I didn't see any of this in anybody's videos. I didn't see it in Bucky video or any of the countless Colorado buffs. So these special moments came out. Coach Prime posted it, and I just took it and put my spit on it, and just wanted look how cute he is. Look at them little cheeks. You see his little cheeks? Yeah, he's so cute. And I still say the baby looked like Shiloh. That is our brother. So I guess it makes sense. And I told y'all this baby gonna have somewhat of Shiloh's personality. So, people talking about Shedeur being confident, is he too wealthy? Is he too confident? I'm like, y'all wait till Snow can get out there and start running and being around more. That baby gonna grow up with a heck of a lot of confidence with Coach Prime as your granddad. Imagine that. So just wanted to share that with everybody. Hey, Gracie said, very good. Yes, most definitely. Okay. So yeah, I just relaxed. Honestly, I wanted to go see the movie uh Sinners. So I guess I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow because it looks like it might be single seats only for the latest IMAX shows here in Atlanta, near Atlantic Station. So if did anybody see the movie Sinners? If anybody saw it, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. I've watched trailers. I've watched people do reaction, not reaction, but like a review of the movie. Watch some really good reviews. So I have a gist of what it's about. And there were no spoilers. There were no spoilers. And honestly, I think even if somebody had showed me the whole movie, I still would go to the movies and watch it. But I heard if you go see it in IMAX, it's supposed to be everything. And it had a 90 million dollar budget. $90 million budget. And it's reported that the movie has created, I guess, like a new genre of movie exists. They said it's not your typical horror movie. So it's supposed to fall into a new category of movies. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan and Spike Lee was raving on it, and that's huge coming from Spike. Shout out to the directors of Sinners. So if you saw the movie Sinners, let me know what you thought in the comments. All right. He is a handsome little fella. He's a cutie pie. He really is a cutie pie. And at some point, it seemed like they thought she wasn't going to be able to have children. So this is her little miracle right here. And to see him with his grandpa, he is so cute. I just like his little cheeks and the little jeans she got on him. I'm like, where do they find these little miniature jeans like that? You know, that's so fashionable, not just regular pants. I'm sure it's out there. But you know, just see the look on her face of how thrilled she was when she saw her dad with him. So it's kind of like maybe she's thinking about her life. Because remember, when Coach Prime was when she was young, because she's the oldest, I do believe. When she was young, he was playing baseball and he was playing football. So for her to see her dad have the time with her grandson, you know, where he's stationed in Boulder, you know, and maybe just, you know, 5 away games at the most. You know, she might be in Boulder. I don't know. I know it was her birthday. So happy birthday, DeAndre. If you see this, thank you for sharing photos of you and Snow. I enjoy each and every last one of them because he's such a cutie pie. And it looks like his personality, I talked about that last time, his personality is starting to blossom. So with him taking a few little first steps, I would think by the time we get to Christmas, he might be out there walking on his own because he's almost one. He's almost one. It said, the movie Sinners is really good. It will keep you on the edge of your seat. Okay. So hopefully I can come back and report tomorrow with no spoilers, my reaction of the movie. I'm sure it'll be good. And anytime I sit down and start watching trailers of movies, like in reaction to see what other people are saying, I'm anxious to kind of see what's going on. So I wish I could go tonight, but it'll be tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow. So I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all know. Okay. Thank y'all for sharing that, and thank you. Welcome back. So let's get into the topic of conversation. If you saw the thumbnail said, Coach Prime anticipates what I call BSery, what he calls bull junk, ahead of the NFL draft. So much so that he took a vacation. He said, I need a vacation before this draft with the bull junk that's going down. Now, remember, everybody knows everything at this moment, regardless of how much the media speculates, everybody knows everything, meaning who's going where. And what I suspect is happening involves both of his sons, Shedeur as well as Shiloh. And I think from what I read, the latest about both of them, I told y'all everybody but Travis and Shedeur were relegated, including Jimmy Horn Jr., to undrafted free agents, right? Now that's foul. In other words, the Heisman winner and the #1 QB in college, who threw to all of the wide receivers, who put up numbers, who was touted to be elite, was also supposed to go undrafted. What included Shiloh. And when the combine took place, it's as if he wasn't invited because, oh, you were undrafted free agent. That's really how they felt about him and everybody else that wasn't Shedeur or Travis. And as you can see in this late hour, because the draft is Thursday, they still trying to tear down Shedeur with new reports of, oh, he's too small. I didn't even read it. That was just a caption. I kept it pushing. I'm like, okay, this is clearly ridiculous. And I see why Coach Prime is like, let me go on vacation and relax, because he knows something is going to transpire. I call it BSery. I told y'all how the legend, Jerry Rice, how his son got treated. I also shared with y'all, I have a feeling something like that is going to happen to Shiloh. So I looked it up, and the latest on him is he might get a tryout with the Dallas Cowboys as an undrafted free agent. And that he did run a 4.52, so maybe he boosted his draft stock. So they trying to do Shiloh dirty. Y'all see how they doing the #1 QB in college? So it shouldn't come as a surprise to you that they trying to make Shiloh go undrafted. And for them to say Dallas as if Jerry Jones is doing Coach Prime a favor by giving Shiloh a tryout, as if he's just not good enough. I'm like, the hardest hitting safety in college last year, who bounced back from an injury like a pro, not good enough to get drafted in late rounds or mid rounds. I said he should be going late second round. That if you look at who else is out there, but it's crazy to me how Coach Prime could be a legend in the NFL and work in media 17, almost 20 years with the NFL, and people do him dirty like this. We were talking about this at home. I said, it's crazy how much clout this man has in the NFL. When he went to Jackson State, everybody came running. Everybody came running, including the commissioner, Roger Goodell, whose grandson was on the roster at Jackson State. And this how they do Coach Prime? That's crazy. I could see if they were coming to him behind the scenes, Prime, you know how to go. No, they are trying to, both of his sons. That's why he's taking a vacation, because he know it's some foolishness getting ready to go down. Yesterday, it was reported that Shedeur, talking about, oh, he gonna fall right out the first into the second. And I said, okay, now we talked about this on my Listen Up podcast, the audio version. I think maybe episode 6. What did I say? Is there a plot brewing? Is there a plot brewing to embarrass Shedeur Sanders like they did Lamar Jackson? Because I told y'all one of the announcers on one of these little networks, somehow they were on the subject of Lamar Jackson going number 32nd in the first draft. Now, y'all know they talk about these things before they sit down and press play a recording and start talking. And the announcer was like, who was the person that interviewed Lamar Jackson? Somebody said, it was Coach Prime. He told me, interesting. So after that, all we hear is he's going to Pittsburgh. We talked about how they're trying to force Pittsburgh to take him at QB2 behind Aaron Rodgers, who still haven't decided if he's coming back to the NFL. But for some reason, Shedeur got to go to Pittsburgh. So Shedeur, ever unfazed, when he was asked about his interview with Pittsburgh, he said, I give it a 10 out of 10. In other words, if you think it's going to bother me to go to Pittsburgh, you're wrong. The interview was a 10 out of 10. My coach, Mike Tomlin, reminds me of my dad. So I don't have no problem with Shedeur going to Pittsburgh. I don't have no problem with Shedeur going to Pittsburgh at 21. But the problem is, why wouldn't Pittsburgh trade up? Let's talk about the teams that want to trade up. So I put together a, I guess like slides or a video, whatever, talking about who is trading up for Shedeur. Okay. So there are several teams that want to trade up. Now, New Orleans is on the list. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on the list. Who else? The Vegas Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. Now, New York is on the list and wanting to trade up. So are the San Francisco 49ers, and so are the New England Patriots. But the Patriots don't need a quarterback, so I didn't include them in this list. The 49ers have Brock Purdy, and I don't think they're shopping for a QB, so I didn't include him in the list for trading up for Shedeur. I didn't include the Giants because I don't want Shedeur to go to the Giants, so I'm not going to write that down. Pittsburgh Steelers, the Vegas Raiders, the Cleveland Browns, and it said that Travis is going to Cleveland. So what that means is Cam Ward supposedly first, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. The Saints, I think, going to get that first pick. What they do with it is either Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders. If they pick Jackson Dart, they take a late second round pick and put him above the first top 3 QBs in the draft, Cam, Shedeur, and Jalen Milroe. I would not be surprised if that's what happens. If the Saints don't pick, Shedeur, then, you know, he looking at the Steelers, or I don't see Cleveland. Unfortunately, maybe just the Raiders, and then he's QB2 behind Geno Smith. So the scenarios for Shedeur are starting to look bleak in terms of him going first. Now, he could go first to the Saints, but that would buck everything Cam Jordan has said about the Saints in the first round draft pick. But then it will be what I said. Things do change. This is what should happen. The Saints should trade up to Tennessee's pick, who's not 100% certain. It said Tennessee wants to keep Will Levis, which means they probably not getting Cam, despite what everybody thinks they should do. If that's the case, that's what the Saints should do, trade up to get Tennessee's pick. And now they said the Giants and the Browns are playing chicken. I don't know how to play the game of chicken. I've heard of it. I don't know what it means, but I don't understand why the Browns or the Giants, who's 2 or 3 in their picks, would trade up to number 1. That means they all fighting for Shedeur if you do that. Because I don't see the Giants trading up to number 1 to get Jackson Dart. I just don't see it. And who else is it? So it's getting weird out here. It's getting weird. And here's what it's getting. Okay. It's given again, this has nothing to do with football. If it did, we would not be questioning who's taking Shedeur. We would know one of them is taking Shedeur in the top 5. We would know that. See, Shedeur said he didn't care where he got drafted. He just wanted to get drafted ahead of his dad. Remember that? So that's what, number 5. So Vegas is 6. There's been no scenarios with Vegas trading up because they have Geno to get Shedeur. So if you take Vegas off the list, why would Cleveland trade up from 2 to 1? That just absolutely makes no sense. But they do have 11 picks. But again, I don't know why you would do that unless you're in a hurry. And then there's the Saints and the Steelers. So that's what Coach Prime means by, let me go, I'm going on vacation before the bull jump. It's like he already know they're getting ready to do him dirty. And the fact that they have discussed Lamar Jackson and, oh, that's right, Coach Prime was the one that interviewed him. And then the scenarios with Shedeur falling to 21. Now he falling out the second round. I'm going to tell you something. You got to really question how bad you want to play for the NFL if they do you dirty like that. I mean, at this point, I'm like, just take the money you have, go invest in another league, and go play football there, and you be an investor owner. Kind of like when Vince Carter played in the NBA. He went to Toronto and he had equity. I don't know if y'all know, but Vince Carter is now a part owner of the Buffalo Bills, that minority ownership group, with his cousin, Tracy McGrady. Yeah, that's what I think. Hell, Nico, Shedeur, all of them, all of these guys, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, all of these guys that got snubbed. I went back and watched. Jalen Hurts should have nowhere near been number 53 in the second round. Nowhere. This man has won 2 Super Bowls. Lamar Jackson being the Heisman winner the year before, that's like Travis falling to the last pick in the first round. Have you even heard such a scenario for Travis, the Heisman winner? No. And what it does, and I keep telling people, it messes with their career earnings. It does. You never going to be able to play catch up. I don't care if they pay you $330 million with your plus your $9 million that you got your rookie year. You never going to beat Josh Allen if both of y'all get 330 and he go pick number 5 and you go pick 32. You will always be behind the curve. Same thing for Jalen Hurts. He got $253 million. But if you gave him $253 million as the 5th pick rather than the 53rd pick, where would he be career earnings? He will be up there. This messes with their money. And it seems like that's what they're trying to do with Shedeur, even though nobody's talking about it. Trying to find every reason to negate him is saying he's not worth 43, 40, 41, 39, 37 million. Trying to say 21, the 21st pick, if the first pick make 9 million, the 21st pick, if the 32nd pick in the first round makes 9 million, and Shedeur is supposed to go 21 in that same pick, he's going to be somewhere between 12 for his entire career. 12 million, not per year. For his, take 12 and divide it by 4. That's his salary for his rookie year. It's almost like they're intentionally devaluing the best. And the best so happen to be Black. Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls and won 1. Let's see if he gets $330 million. And he might, but he going to still be behind Josh Allen, who got drafted much higher than him, who has not been to that Super Bowl. This messes with their money, and it puts them behind these guys that they are better than. I'm like, at some point, y'all got to question, do you really want this? If they're going to do you dirty like this? And you can say, you know what, it's cool. I'll take the $12 million for 4 years, but I'm going to come back and get that franchise tag for $253 million. But when you add your money up to the people who came in front of you that you better than and you've achieved more, they still ahead of you. And that's what it seems like it's about anyway. It's like they want to determine who the best is for MVP. That's why Lamar Jackson didn't win. How am I going to give Josh Allen $330 million if Lamar Jackson is the MVP 3 times and I don't give it to him? It was easy to snub Lamar Jackson this time, even though people had to change their votes. People that didn't even play football. Journalists who in my opinion, are easily bought and paid for. Why not let their peers? Why not let their peers vote? Why the peers don't have a vote in MVP? Why is it that it comes down to journalists, people who we see are so obviously biased? They biased against Lamar Jackson, they biased against Jalen Hurts, and they biased against Shedeur Sanders. This just tell me Shedeur gonna be a top 3, but I'm like, how bad do you really want this? That these people would do you like this? This is dirty. So much so, Coach Prime got to go take a vacation so he can be at peace to deal with it. If you look at the thumbnail on there, there's a quote by Coach Prime, and he said, "There's the right, there's what's right, there's wrong, and then there's peace." And he goes on to say, "You should choose your peace." At some point, you know these people wrong, and I ask myself, how long am I going to be covering this? Because I know it's wrong. And I know my excitement is fueled by, I've been following Shedeur since Trinity. I went to Jackson State. I went to the Alamo Bowl. So I know they doing him dirty. And I'm just like, how much do y'all guys really want this? Can y'all not get this money another kind of way? Can y'all not take what you have in NIL, pool, aggregate it, and go ahead and invest and become owner investors in the UFL? Do what Unrivaled did for basketball. They made $25 million revenue last year. My next question was, how much was the expenses? But I don't think that was the point. I think the point was they made it. At least they created an opportunity for players to get equity in the league. Every player on there, they had 30 players the first year, 30, 31. Every player got equity. They paid every player a minimum of 6 figures. So what did they do? As basketball players, they saw the WNBA wasn't right. So they created a league that was right, that respected all players, not just one, that paid them handsomely and not relegate them to $75,000. There are kids coming out of college making more money than that. So I'm like, at some point, you see women's basketball coming on the rise. You got 2 WNBA players started their own league. They generated $25 million in one inaugural season. They did more than the WNBA ever did. They had sponsors out the wazoo. They even had their referees with sponsors on their uniform. That's how many sponsors they had. I'm looking for places to display the sponsors. And all you hear from the WNBA is, it's not a good product. I don't want to hear that. I know it's a good product. It's not a good product, but you take one person and try to get an audience that you currently don't have, and you don't appreciate the audience you do have. You know who I'm starting to feel like has that problem right now? The NFL. Because if you're trashing Shedeur, the number 1 QB coming out of school, yes, he rightfully had his jersey retired. Right before I went live, some off-cast journalist was complaining about it. That's too bad. This young man broke 100 records in 2 years at this school and put up 14,000 yards. Only the second player at CU history to do something like that. Still impressed he got sacked 52 times and only threw 4 interceptions. I don't know if he made $4 million last year, but I know he had less interceptions than Carson Beck. Even, is it Mississippi State's coach? Whoever, I forget his name. Lane Kiffin is the coach, one of them Mississippi schools. He even said, how the hell did Miami pay Carson Beck $4 million? Did they not watch Georgia play us? Yeah. Shedeur only had 4 interceptions. He should have been at the top of that money list. And if Cam Ward is the number 1 player in the draft, why Miami didn't pay him like that? Because they did not check $2 million overall and not from the school. His sponsorships, Bose, Gatorade, this, that, and the other, Adidas. He didn't get that kind of money from Miami. But they ran after Carson Beck, who wasn't even worth that kind of money, who was injured and dropped $4 million cash from the school. Now, when you put it together with the rest of his sponsorships, it's $10 million. And like Travis said, hell, I'm the Heisman when I ain't get that. He didn't. So they picking and choosing who they want to play, who they want to pay in college. And it's also happening in the NFL. But see, in the NFL, the game is a little dirtier. The game is dirtier because they taking the good people like Lamar Jackson, who just won the Heisman, and try to make it seem like, oh, the Heisman don't matter. Drop him down to the last one because he didn't want to switch to wide receiver. They dragging Jalen Hurts. Why? Because he left Nick Saban, Alabama, and went to Oklahoma after he won a chip at Alabama. So you pissed off this young man because he knew he needed to be in a Lincoln Riley system because Alabama wanted to run the ball more, and he's a passer. So when he gets to the NFL, you try to embarrass him with whiteboard conversations and you put it on YouTube. We all know Jalen Hurts is an intellect. He got his master's from Alabama. But they wanted to negate him. Okay, yeah, so you did win a chip. But we still going to hold it against you because you had the audacity to get up and leave and go to Oklahoma. Now it's Shedeur's turn. Caleb must have been last year. You see how they did him. Now, I'm not going to be able to sit back quietly if I see this young man get sacked the way Caleb got sacked. I'm not going to be cool with it. And to me, that is why they are trying to force him to a particular team, because they're going to let it happen. Now, there's some people's jobs on the line. So we're going to see if that job, how important it really is. Or you going to choose between racial politics or your job. I'm not going to be able to be quiet if I see them do him like that, because they are already trashing a good person. But then the NBA, they got the same problem. They want to hold up somebody like Anthony Edwards, who ain't right when it comes to his children. But then they want to sit back and be quiet while they trash somebody like Shedeur Sanders, who's doing it the way you're supposed to do it, the right way, the way we're all proud of. And the fact that we're his fans and they don't care how we feel about it, that's where I have a problem. Oh, you don't care what I think. Oh, okay. All right. So everybody buying them Super Bowl tickets look like you. No. If that's all that mattered, Kendrick Lamar would have never did the halftime show. The people at home made that Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia made that Super Bowl. That Super Bowl was more about Kansas City losing. It was about an ideology losing. Whether you knew it or not, that's what it was about. And unfortunately, Pat Mahomes was part of that ideology. But he got him a haircut now. He'd been to a black barber. I guess he said he had enough. He should have been embarrassed by somebody, saying that his favorite food is fried chicken. And it's not. It's tacos. So maybe he done had enough of trying to shun his identity, because he has clearly been to a black barber. So that's what Coach Prime means. It's something going down. They know about it. He already probably heard. Hell, if he heard Cash Cleveland was leaving, he heard what's going on with Shedeur and Shiloh. And it's not just Shedeur and Shiloh. It's also Jimmy Horn Jr. It's also LeJounte, Will Shepherd. And I want to tell y'all, if they relegate the rest of those guys, if Shedeur drops and he can't get his son can't go where he should go, and none of those other guys get drafted, what you think that's going to hurt? The program. It's going to hurt recruiting. To me, that's the ultimate goal. I don't care how good your son is. I hang out with people that don't want you to succeed in college. So you got 16 players. If I let 12 of them get drafted and the rest go on practice squads, then more people going to want to come to your school. I can't have that. It's confirmed. It's official. I checked the portal. Isaiah Augustave committed to Virginia. And nobody has a problem with it because he has a child and we want him to get that money. Cash Cleveland was still in the portal as of today, but we lost the day of the black and gold game. Savion Riley, he committed to Georgia Tech. So I posted best wishes. We'll see you in week 1. I don't care anybody that wants to leave. But what I care about is them intentionally trying to hold back the program for racial politics and trying to disparage Shedeur and embarrass him the way they did Lamar Jackson, or denigrate his draft stock like they did Jalen Hurts. Because why? Oh, I need to set the example. I don't want these guys to be confident. I want them to come to us in a wanting rather than, oh, I know I'm going to get. See, Lamar Jackson knew he was good enough to be a quarterback, and that's his sin, according to them. Jalen Hurts knew he was good enough to be a quarterback, so he left Alabama after winning the chip and went to Lincoln Riley offense to get what he needed, an air raid offense. That's not wrong. Hell, they still talking about Nico. It's supposedly he went to UCLA or anywhere else that wasn't Tennessee so he could get a better offense. Shedeur went to Jackson State after being offered by every school in this country. And when he got to Jackson State, he was no longer a 5-star. Travis either. They dropped them both because they went to an HBCU. So I don't care who hops in the portal. If you need money and that's what you got to do, then go ahead and do it. But don't burn no bridges. But what I do care about is the racial politics that's being played when it comes to Shedeur Sanders and Shiloh Sanders and Coach Prime, who was a legend, put the NFL on his back. I saw somebody the other day downtown Atlanta with his jersey on. How many decades has it been? And where's the gratitude from the NFL for the fact that people still love Coach Prime? And his sons finally made it here, and you want to act like you don't see one of them, and you want to, I guess you could say, disregard the other one or degrade his stock. That's crazy. I could see if Coach Prime wasn't a legend. I mean, yeah, it's his DNA. So Coach Prime going on vacation. I don't know how long the Buffs going to be off. I don't know if they're going to be off or Coach Prime just going on vacation because, you know, he got a DC and an OC that can run the team. And they should do that anyway. So I just hate that that's why he has to go on vacation. And he has to go get himself right because he knows some BS-ery or some bull junk, as he call it, is going to go down. Should this really be how we going into the NFL draft? Rightfully, Shedeur Sanders should be the first QB off the board. Cam Ward should be the second. Jalen Milroe should be the third. I don't like this. I don't like it at all because it takes the fun out of it. I just want to watch the draft and be happy for all the Buff players that get drafted. Now, it seems like the two that should get drafted, out of 16, Travis the one going to get drafted, and he ain't going to even get what the hell he want, which is to play both ways. I don't see him retiring either. I don't. But he could do it. And he's not coming back to see you either. They taking all the fun out of it. For people who look like Shedeur and people who are fans of Shedeur. And Shedeur got over 2 million some odd fans. You think they would be happy with that? So when I heard Coach Prime say that, I went back and I re-listened to Listen Up by What She Said Sports. Is there a plot to embarrass Shedeur at the draft? I believe so. So much so that Coach Prime got to be gone before the draft to try to get right. So he don't snap, so he don't lose it. So let's see what's in here. Welcome, everybody. Let's see. It says, never miss. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not a comment. Okay. It says, it's back to Gracie. It said the movie centers. Okay, that's why I left off at. So I gotta pick it up. Skull Buffs, right? Skull Buff, Stanford. Thank you for hanging out with us. Kiel, everybody. Good evening. How y'all doing? It says some people don't play fair or they play by their own rules. I mean, I'm like, y'all trying so hard, and I really did. I had to ask myself. I got a sports podcast. Y'all notice I already don't look at basketball no more. It's not lost on me what they did to Jaylen Brown. It's not lost on me why they did it. Y'all know Jaylen Brown was the finals MVP last year, right? They snubbed him. And Stephen A played a part of trying to justify it by saying he wasn't marketable. It was because he said he wanted to create another Black Wall Street, and he was actively investing money into getting that done. He's a social justice champion, a term that came out of 2016 to 2020, that in 2025 they have seemed to have forgotten. That's one of the reasons I don't watch the NBA. The WNBA, y'all know why I don't watch the WNBA. They treated Angel Reese like they treated Shedeur. Angel Reese should have been much higher draft pick than she was. They sent her number 7 to a team that didn't even have practice facilities. That's how much they didn't want her to make it. So they didn't want her to be the face of the league. But she is the reason we were even talking about women's basketball, because of her taunt with Caitlin. And it really was both of them. And I'm glad Caitlin finally came out and acknowledged that the WNBA was raised up on the backs of Black basketball players. Women, absolutely. It should have been said last year. And that's why I don't watch this year. I love Angel Nam, but I just can't do it. I can't support that. And now here we are, the NFL. I'm like, well, damn, I'm about to negate and ignore damn every goddamn sport that I enjoy. If you watch any of my social media, you're going to see me at Hawks games. Damn good seats. You're going to see me at the Atlanta Dream game. Damn good seats. I went to the Alamo Bowl. I was just saying today, okay, I got to go to Boulder for Georgia Tech. Y'all know I watched Georgia Tech spring game today. You know why? Because I'm finna talk about it. What they lost, what they have, where we stack up, and where we're different. That's how invested I am. So it sickens me that Coach Prime got to take a vacation before the draft to get right, because he knows some bull junk or BS-ery is coming. I just want to watch good football. They claim LeBron should have just shut up and dribbled, but they the ones coming with the damn racial politics. Like, the league could be much, much better than it is, but you too busy controlling whose face is on it. You too busy controlling how many quarterbacks are leading how many teams that are Black. And the inevitable is happening no matter what. So in some respects, yeah, Shedeur and Shiloh should push on. And the other guys, if they don't get drafted, don't give up, keep going. And then honestly, I'm like, I want y'all just take y'all money, pool it, go be owner investors in the UFL and do what they did with Unrivaled. Build it from a player's perspective, where it respects all players and it compensates all players and it gives equity to the first roster. It's not going to change unless if you keep wanting to be a part of something they want to exclude you from. And here's the thing, they don't want to exclude you. They just want to put you at the bottom. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I didn't like what happened with Michael Penix Jr. last year. You could ask anybody in my house. I was hot, upset, because I knew he was supposed to start. And I didn't like their coach because, in my opinion, he played himself. Supposedly, the owner told him the owner wanted to get Kirk Cousins. But the owner told the coach, who obviously could dismiss him, I'm going to leave it up to you who you going to start. And who did the coach start? Kirk Cousins. And who did the fans want fired at the end of the season? The coach. So if you damned if you do and you damned if you don't, you might as well do what's right. There's right, there's wrong, and there's peace. Choose one. And if you have peace, understand, it's a gift. Don't sacrifice your peace to appease another man. Hey, Jerry, welcome back. I'll be behind the no problem at all. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Stanford. Thank you. I appreciate you. Blue Devil says, salute, salute, salute. Kiel said, this is what happens when you are a second round pick. They don't expect Mr. Hurts to do what he did becoming, because Carson got hurt. So they had to put Mr. Hurts in. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you draft a second round pick, you don't expect them to be your starter. If the only reason they talking about Shedeur falling to the second round pick is the same reason they were incessantly talking about him going to the Giants, because they still wouldn't have a Black starting quarterback. They were going to relegate him to QB2. The NFL seems to be in a hunt to relegate Shedeur Sanders, of all people, to QB2. Why? Don't you want to win? This man changed 2 programs and you want to make sure he don't change the NFL program. Why? It just increases the value of the franchise when you win a Super Bowl. Well, I mean, Dallas, they won a lot of Super Bowls back then. And then maybe that's why they have the highest $10 billion valuation out there, because they did used to win. So it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me because it's supposed to be a business. But then if I thought it was a business, I wouldn't have stood up here and talked about how I feel like Russell Wilson is being retaliated against because he spoke up about collusion against veteran QBs. Now, again, not a coincidence the QBs are all black. But see, here's the thing. The league is privately owned, and, that's how they want to operate. So where does the change come in at? See, this is one of those things I said about Nico. This is a battle you can't fight yourself. You need what Coach Prime has, supreme faith. That guy going to step in and make the crooked places straight. Because if not, you're going to be on vacation a lot. It makes absolutely no sense why they would want to take Shedeur Sanders, who have proven to change 2 programs, and to try to disrupt him from changing the Titans, from changing the Browns, or God forbid, the Giants. Isn't that what you wanted? Then again, maybe it's not. It proves that winning is not the priority, and it's not just the Dallas Cowboys. It's not just the Giants. It seems that the Giants are stacking up all the black quarterbacks they can get because somebody trying to save their job or give the appearance of it. They talked about Shedeur incessantly going to the Giants till they got Russell and Jameis Winston. And now supposedly both of them are mere currency. And I said they were playing in their face. Guess who face they going to play in if they drafted? It's like everything is being done to steer Shedeur to the Giants. For what? They got the damn 3rd pick. If they want to get him, why they just don't trade up with Tennessee? Oh, I can't let him think he the number 1 pick in the draft. You see? He don't want to go to the Giants. So let's force him to the Giants, but not as the number 1 pick. Maybe we'll pick him 2nd and then trade back. It's just too much. I just goddamn it want to watch the draft. I don't want to watch racial politics play out. And if the NFL don't care about fans that come into the league with these college quarterbacks who are black, they're going to have a problem. Because I want you to pay attention to who quarterbacking these teams. And I want you to pay attention to who's going to be in the NFL this year. And I said it, if you put Russell Wilson behind J.J. McCarthy, I promise you Russell Wilson going to be the starter. And that's something you can't control. And if you take Shedeur as QB2 and you put him behind 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, I promise you Shedeur Sanders going to become QB1. And if you trade Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, and you draft Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders to the Giants, and you make Shedeur Sanders QB2 behind Jackson Dart, I promise you Shedeur Sanders is going to become QB1 over Jackson Dart. Because the people y'all are trying to shun are the best. And the best always rise. Despite no matter how hard you try. Look how long they've been trying to keep black quarterbacks from getting to where they are today. And they got 2 on 1 team and possibly 3. But no, let's make sure we don't put somebody in Buffalo. Or let's make sure we don't put somebody with the 49ers. They're going to end up over there one way or the other. And it gives the appearance that they don't want to win, right? But they seem to keep doing it against their own preference. What's that about? Maybe the owners want to win. Maybe the owners want to share all of the media revenue money, and maybe they want to win too. Instead of taking these damn tax write-offs. And maybe they want to have some pride. I don't know. But it's still happening despite no matter how hard they try to keep it from happening. It's still happening. So I understand Coach Prime going on a vacation before the draft so he can remember who's really in control. And if it works out in a way that's wrong, we still got to remember who's in control and show up and cheer for Shedeur, Shiloh, and the rest of our guys. But trying to snub Shedeur, trying to hurt the Colorado program, when these guys' draft stock has risen, BJ Green should already have been up there. So that's where we are. It said the Philadelphia Eagles had to pay him because of his performance on the field, not his draft position. Remember, he was in the 2nd round, and he didn't think. I know, that's what I meant. Jalen Hurts was number 53. The 5-year contract for a 2nd round pick at number 53 is not even over $10 million, I don't believe. So Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson both had contracts under $10 million their rookie year. They had to earn that 250 some odd million dollars. They had to earn it. Jalen Hurts has been to the Super Bowl twice and won once. Josh Allen hasn't even has he even been to the Super Bowl? And he surely hasn't won. So let's see what happens when Jalen Hurts get there. But guess what? It's going to be on his second go round. I think Josh Allen came into the draft with Lamar Jackson. He going to always be ahead of them, even though his performance is not the same. It's just a preference. It said at that time, since he was a second round pick, yeah, when they pick somebody second, they don't expect him to start. They could have dropped Lamar Jackson if he was not drafted by Isaac Newsom, who was a black GM on his way out. He probably would have slid into the second round. And I do believe that it seems like there are a lot of forces at play here to hopefully that happens to Shedeur. Now, Isaac Newsom was the one that stopped the slide for Lamar Jackson from 32 into pick 1 of the second round. Let's see if Cleveland gonna stop the slide for Shedeur and he go at number 2. They could pick him and trade him, but they could pick him. He should go first, though. He should go first. Let's just be honest. And the Saints should be the one to trade up. And if the Saints don't do it, honestly, I think if Pittsburgh traded up from 21 to 1 to get Shedeur, I think they'd fire Mike Tomlin after the draft. I'm not lying. I'm serious. They don't want him to do nothing where he can make decisions and position that team to win. If you notice, there's 2 teams that they talked about. They said Cleveland was going to get scammed out of their pick. And at one point around the combine, they were talking about possibly firing their GM. I'm like, huh? Why? Why would he get scammed? He's a black GM. And then down in Pittsburgh, what Shedeur said the meeting was a 10 out of 10. They can't use that against him because he liked, Coach Tomlin. They were like, Coach Tomlin is being advised to draft Shedeur Sanders and put him at QB2 behind Aaron Rodgers, who ain't even decided if he want to come back. And sometimes I'm starting to wonder if Aaron Rodgers is not necessarily a holdout, but he, as a player, he's like, I see what y'all trying to do. You're trying to use me. That's kind of what I'm thinking he doing. He like, I see you trying to use me. I see you trying to use me, but I ain't gonna let you use me. I'm gonna come back when I want to come back. Pick who you gonna pick, and I'm gonna choose where I go. That's what I think Aaron Rodgers is doing. They don't even see it. I really think he's like, pick who you gonna pick. Don't worry about me coming there and you choosing who to put behind me. Pick who you gonna pick, and then I'll show up. That's what I think he's gonna do. And for that, I like him. I like him because that's him playing them. And that's what they get because they gave him all the power and they didn't let Russ have none. And they forced Russ out of Pittsburgh. Now they just want to send Shedeur there to be Russ all over again at QB2. I'm like, he just gonna rise to QB1. Aaron Rodgers is 42. The guys he playing against are in their 20s. Hey, everybody. Hey, Sweet Caroline. Hey, Jackie. It said, I only watch college football. Too much bull junk with the NFL and NBA. You ain't lying, bro. But college football got some bull junk, too, because, the people that have been riding with Coach Prime, oh, my God. I know we're like, why is y'all tripping like this? It said, Stanford said, change will only come when it hits the owner's pockets. Right. And I think Kiel was the one that told us something about the Giants fans started to revolt against the team. And that's why the owner put the team on the clock, put the GM on the clock. So they have gone from no black QBs or no to damn near about to have 3 and their first black starting QB, possibly. I don't see it happening. But anyway, it said you right, sis. Shedeur gonna be number 1 regardless. Yeah, Shedeur gonna be number 1 regardless. And in some respect, I think that's why I'm doing this because I know how these things work out. I know when people try to take you down, I promise you, God gonna show up. Whether it's the 11th hour or the beginning of the day, it's going to happen. And think about how hard they're working to keep Shedeur down, how hard they worked to keep Russ down when he left Denver. He still ended up being QB1. So now they're leaning on Mike Tomlin, trying to force him to draft Shedeur, put him at QB2 behind 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. I mean, 42-23. What you think gonna happen? I'm like, go ahead on and do it. Because it's still gonna work out. Shedeur gonna be number one regardless. That's what they don't get. This man changed his high school program. He changed Jackson State and he changed CU. So you don't want him to change the NFL team? That's crazy. That's crazy. And I told y'all the only reason they kept talking about Cam Ward going first is because they do not want Shedeur Sanders to go first. If the Saints trade up from 9 to 1, they ain't gonna say nothing. But you let Pittsburgh trade up from 21 to 1 to get Shedeur, they gonna fire Mike Tomlin that night. Maybe they want to be conspicuous. He gonna suddenly have to go do something else. Because they gonna be fit to be tired with him. Because he brought Russ and he brought Justin Fields there. Y'all know that was two black QBs that was in some bad situations. And he rescued them both. And they think forcing Shedeur there at QB2 not going to turn out like Russ. And Russ, who became QB1, took them to the playoffs. Shedeur go to Pittsburgh and Derek Metcalf got some hands. Y'all know what's going down. I watched Georgia Tech spring game. I watched our spring game. I even watched NBA, college football 25, Georgia Tech versus Colorado. But it was the crew who leaving. And we won. I'm like, because I'm a techie. I'm trying to see. I'm like, look, I need to see. I need to kind of see. Because, there is something to the metrics. And that's why we won. Shedeur was actually the better QB over Haynes King. So had we played Georgia Tech first last year, we would have beat them. Cater not in the damn game yet. But the moment they put this class in the game, I'm going to get somebody to play it. I'm like, I need to see what happened. And I said I was going to stream it live. Because I need to see, because all it is data versus data, and the best data wins. That's really what it is. So I just want to see. But, hey, we're going to be talking about Georgia Tech sooner than y'all think. All right. And let's see. It says, that's what they want, but don't trust rookie quarterbacks. That's BS. Jaden Daniels proved rookie QBs can start. So did CJ Stroud. And so will Shedeur Sanders. They don't trust rookie quarterbacks. That's a lie to keep the old guard in place. That's a lie to keep these old white QBs as QB1. That's all it is. Why you think it's nobody in Minnesota to back up? What's his name? JJ McCarthy. Push Shedeur behind that and see what happens. Y'all know what's going to happen. Why you think they didn't send Russ to Minnesota? Because they don't want Russ behind JJ McCarthy. Not because of optics, because Russ going to rise to QB1. They want to act like Russ didn't have the second best QBR rating behind Sam Darnold when free agency started. They try to say it was Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was at the bottom down there with Kirk Cousins. But that's the crew they want to stay at QB1 because they like the way it looks. They don't give a damn about losing and winning. You'd rather lose than have Shedeur win at QB1. That's crazy. I couldn't be no NFL owner because I tell them to go to hell. I'm like, to hell with y'all. We're going to split this media money, but I'm going to win. I'm like, y'all can sit up there and lose and get a tax write-off if you want to, but when it brings billions, it brings billions. It grows the franchises. Yeah, Shedeur going to be number one regardless. He's going to rise just like Russ did. They tried it. And they moved Russ right there to New York. I don't care where they move Russ. As godly as Russ is, you can move Russ to goddamn Mars. He's still going to get up there to number one. Shedeur Sanders come from the same seed. So that same stock. I saw a picture of, I think I have it, Shedeur and Shiloh. And Shedeur was on his knees praying. This is who they trying to tear down. The young man who prays with his brothers before the game. That's crazy. Like, that just makes them seem so evil. This young man, this is it right here. This young man prays before the game with his brother. And Shiloh came over and stood down with them. And this is who they trying to tear down. See, I can't get with that. That's evil. How you tear down somebody that prayed before every single game? Either Bucky got his hands on his shoulder or Shiloh got his hands on his shoulder. Every single game. And this is who you trying to tear down. He don't have no baby mamas. He not in trouble. Ain't never been to jail. He don't, they tried to get him on his music. He said, my music is just a release. He said, I'm a homebody. I'm not out here in the streets. They still ain't happy. Because he's doing it right. He's doing what we want for all of our sons. Be respectful, be kind, be generous, be courteous, be intelligent. Use your gifts, honor your talents, respect your mother, respect your father. This man wanted to be with both of his parents on draft day. So that's what's going to happen. Coach Prime couldn't deny him. Coach Prime didn't put himself in front of Shedeur or Shiloh for that. And we just saw how he ran away from her. That's a lot. That might be another reason why he got to go on vacation too. But, it is what it is. And I'm respectful to make sure I don't talk about his mother, because when you respect somebody, you can't put their family down like that. So I don't know her. Don't talk about her. I don't get in that, because I have too much respect for Shedeur and Shiloh to be in on whatever the hell went on with them. That I wasn't there. I don't know. It's in the past. I hope it works out. And I'm glad to see Coach Prime put himself to the side so Shedeur can be at home with his dad and his mom. I think that's special. That says a lot for people who want to say he's selfish. Coach Prime is selfish. That's a lie. He's too giving to the program. I was talking to somebody who came at me and was like, when I talked about Coach Prime calling out University of Virginia, UVA, when I said that it was wrong for UVA to Tampa, they came back and said, well, isn't this the same Coach Prime? He left, Jackson State for money. I said, Coach Prime didn't even go to Jackson State for money. So he didn't leave there for money. And I pointed out, they had some issues. They, paid him at the 11th hour like he wasn't a priority, which was crazy at the time. And they ended up firing that coach, that president. They voted that man out because he fumbled the bag. He fumbled the bag. We were all so happy because finally HBCUs were getting the look. And I even said it. I said Eddie George had to leave Tennessee for the same reason. So it's not getting any better. We just still moving on. And, we wish everybody well. It's working out for Michael Vick, which is like Coach Prime 2.0 down at Norfolk State. And Coach Prime, from what I heard, is actually giving him advice, giving him coaching advice, giving him the meeting schedule so he know how to set up his meetings. And when some players transfer to the portal, he like, hey, this guy might be good for Norfolk State. And that's who you say is selfish. You see how that works? These are the people that we know are walking the walk that you're supposed to walk and doing it right. And that's the people that they want to tear down. I don't like that. I don't like that. So I'm going to be right here on draft day, probably with some face, because it's going down. It's going to be nice. It's not going to be good. I hope they don't let him sit there to last. Everything they throw at him, it just bounces off of him. When they said he was going 21st and he went to meet with Pittsburgh and he heard the same stories that I just discussed, that they trying to force Mike Tomlin's hand to pick him and make him QB2. How was your interview in Pittsburgh, Shedeur? Oh, it was a 10. He reminds me of my dad. There you go. So he's been schooled. He's built for this. And I don't like it. He's not the first one. He's not going to be the last. But it's not right. Hell, next year they could be trying to do the same thing to Caden. Caden just as much of a stonewall as Shedeur. If you look at him, he don't care what you say. He know who he is. Also has two parents that are father constantly there helping to guide him. Juju too. I saw somebody say Juju needs to speak more. Juju good. He's 17. Mind your business. Mind your business. He gonna be good. He gonna be a beast. I can tell you that now based off what I saw yesterday. But I know he needs time. And I love how he is respectful of Caden and he respects Caden's position. And he didn't shrink after his performance yesterday. And he actually did score a touchdown. And I did see Ryan Staub out there. We got 3 QBs, 2 offenses, 3 QBs, and 1 is versatile play in either one. So there you go. It said that's what they want, but they don't trust rookie QBs. It's an anomaly that they will give one the place to start. It said they don't trust them. They do trust them. They trust Bo Nix. They trust Bo Nix, didn't they? He struggled. They let him struggle, and he got it. They trust Bo Nix just fine. So they do trust them. They don't want black QBs coming in and starting and taking white QB spots. That's what they don't want. But that's why they keep trying to stack them in the back. Well, eventually now it's 2 on the team. Then eventually it's going to be 3. I just wonder how far they'll go. You know, you just going to close the league up because you decided, God damn it, all the quarterbacks black. How did this happen? Like, what is it going to take for y'all to stop? That's the question. And it ain't going to be something that they can answer. Because it's true. God's ways are higher than ours. For Christ's sakes, it is Easter Sunday, just before the draft, and you still coming out here with this BSery. They want a quarterback that has NFL experience. That's not true, Kiel, because they let Bo Nix start in Denver just fine. They let Bo Nix wasn't he a rookie last year? So that's not true. That's not true at all. They do not want. That's why C.J. Stroud's sophomore season was a train wreck. And the guy who was supposed to be responsible for the train wreck just got traded to Washington, where Jaden Daniels is. Now, if his O-line starts exhibiting the same problems as C.J. Stroud, I mean, at some point, we're just going to have to start picketing because this is ridiculous. Then they talking about Shedeur going to get baptized. How many times is he going to be sacked? Like Caleb. What you mean by that? I've never heard them say anything like that about J.J. McCarthy or C.J. Stroud, or Bo Nix, or Baker Mayfield, or Sam Darnold, or Drake May. Josh Allen, I've never heard these kind of conversations. Well, it's a new sheriff in town, Kiel. It say, hey, everyone, happy Easter. Happy Easter, D. Johnson. They are only using Shedeur for clicks. Yeah, but it better, and that's wrong, too, because why you not using nobody else? He better go top 3. And I mean, somebody better trade up and get him. How is it somebody that 5 teams are vying for doesn't go first? Come on now. The Saints, the Steelers, the Vegas Raiders, the Cleveland Browns, and the New York Giants. That's 5 teams. There is nobody else that 5 teams have wanted. Not even Travis. Not even Travis. But then he don't go first. He going to the second round. How the hell does that happen? But the one scenarios that never discussed is what I put on. Who's trading up for Shedeur? That's what I want to know. That's probably going to be my caption on draft night. It's the title of the presentation from today. If you late, you didn't see it. If you check the replay, that's what it says. Who's drafting up for Shedeur? That's going to be my caption on draft night. That's all I want to know. They know what's up. They don't even like Cam Ward. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've been saying it. I told people, I say, see, y'all think they like Cam Ward. No, they don't. They just trying to pick Cam Ward against Shedeur and put him in that number 1 spot. But Tennessee keep messing it up because Tennessee refuses to commit to who they going to draft. They probably trying to work Tennessee. Look, just keep the pick. Because think about it. If Tennessee trade the pick, and I said the Saints want to trade, the 49ers want to trade, the Patriots want to trade up, Steelers want to trade up, Cleveland want to trade up. How does Cleveland want to trade up from 2 to 1? But they on the list to trade up. The Giants on the list to trade up. The Vegas Raiders on the list to trade up. That's 5 out of 7 teams that need a quarterback that have been in the market for Shedeur Sanders, that have interviewed Shedeur Sanders. Throw Tennessee in there, and hell, it's 8. That's why they want Tennessee to pick Cam. Because if you don't, somebody going to get that pick and get Shedeur. And you damn right. This young man has changed his high school, Jackson State, and Colorado. I want him to change my franchise. I know it has to be some type of animosity between the teams who are at the bottom. A few teams at the bottom probably comfortable there, to be honest. But it's one of those teams. They want to get out of that position. Look at the Commanders. One supposedly seasoned journalist, reporter person said that out of Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, one of them were going to be a bust. He predicted it was going to be Jaden Daniels. Why? Because he went to the Commanders. So basically, he was essentially implying that no matter how good Jaden Daniels is, if he go to one of the horrible franchises, he's not going to be any better. Well, it didn't work out like that. It didn't work out like that because Washington wanted to win. And yes, they were a bottom team for a long time. They said, the hell with it. When RG3 was in Washington, it was not nice. That franchise had some issues when RG3 was in Washington. Now it's the Giants. It was the Giants then, but you see, Washington moved on from that. So let's see if the Saints move on from that. I know what Cam Jordan said, but hell, look at Washington and look at where they went. You don't think they want to get back there? Hell, when they decided to get Deebo Samuel, I said, oh, they ready to play. Because one of the things that I noticed about Washington is they needed a running back. So they leveled up after the season and got Deebo Samuel. So it's a lot of good football out there. But what you have to get around to enjoy it and cheer for your guys, knowing how they being treated, it's hard. It's difficult for fans who are truly invested and want the best for everybody to see certain players held back and obstacles put in their face when they're doing what you're supposed to be doing. No BS, that's the truth. Some quarterbacks are an anomaly, but those GMs, they want them to sit and learn the NFL game. You're going to see for yourself. I mean, Bo Nick started. So Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud proved rookies can start. I don't think it's about that. I think it's about and this is our debate here. This is about what exactly happened in Atlanta with Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins. There is no damn way the Falcons should have paid Kirk Cousins all that money. The only person who won out of that deal was his agent. They paid Kirk Cousins all that money. You think why was it that Minnesota was so quick to let him go? Because they knew he wasn't that guy. And then you get Michael Penix Jr., who went to the Natty, I think, and then you put him behind Kirk Cousins because the idea of having this young black quarterback play QB2 and sit on the bench behind this white guy feeds something in you. Oh, I like the way this looks. Because that's how it's always been. Things are changing. If you don't understand that, then just look at the conferences and look at the number of black QBs in the conference. Hell, we got one whole damn division. All the damn QBs is black. And people say they play musical chairs to get them there. So we shall see, Kiel. Tina, how you doing? It says, I've been saying the same thing. Hit them in the pockets. The fans have the power. They see what's going on. They hate the fact that black players are dominating. It will backfire. I agree. I do believe it will backfire. I do. Because that was my question. I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? Because I can't just stand to watch this. It said, look what's going on with Target, right? Because it's working, right? It said they trust Trevor and paid him millions. Thank you, D. Johnson. I forgot about him because he's so quiet down there, not doing nothing and being paid handsomely for it. He wasn't doing nothing when they gave him 200 and something million. How you paid Josh Allen $330 million and he won the Super Bowls? So how much you gonna pay Jalen Hurts? Because he been twice and won once, so he should get $400 million, right? Have they even paid Pat Mahomes like that? That's probably why he cut his hair. He's like, oh, it shit ain't working for me no more. It's not. And I put him on notice. I'm like, they gonna be done with you. Because what they gonna do if Trevor Lawrence decide he want to leave Jacksonville, he gonna be in Kansas City, and guess where you gonna be? All right. So he realizes that his little luck is running out. It said they have always been jealous. Yeah, that's so sad. That's so sad. In the league, I actually enjoyed the entire Super Bowl. I didn't just come in for the halftime show. I didn't disappear at the halftime show. Despite what people said, I knew why they said it. Talking about we didn't watch it. You heard it. You was in that building and you couldn't unhear it. So I don't give a damn if you didn't look. You heard it with your own ears. So get out of here with that. You know, somebody said they take pleasure in paying thousands of dollars to watch black men labor for them. That was the term people used for the Super Bowl. I was like, oh, okay. So, hey Damon, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? It's the media narrative. Yeah, the media is trash. The media is trash. Bad teams always make mistakes. Listening to the media, right? And you know what? I agree with you. The media is terrible because I even had to filter out like that article today about Shedeur, I didn't even click on it. I saw the headline and I kept it pushing. I said, I am not going to, what did Coach Prime say? There's right, there's wrong, and then there's peace. I'm choosing my peace by not reading this foolishness that they putting out. I know Shedeur is a good QB, but when Coach Prime has to take a vacay before the draft because he knows some bull jump going on, and I know at this moment everybody know where they're going except for maybe one or two teams because they might be deciding between two people. We know that this draft is going to be a surprise, but it shouldn't be an embarrassing surprise for Shedeur because it's not for anybody else. The hell is that? Look like two airplanes. Oh, what the hell is that? I don't know. As long as it don't come this way. As long as it don't come this way. I don't know what that is. Whatever it's an Air Force base around here too. You have to keep that in mind. Sometimes they do testing at night. Okay, so here in Charlotte, the reporters were in private talks. The New York Jets, New York Giants, and Carolina expressed to Tennessee that they want that pick. There you go. That's some more people that ain't even on my list. So Carolina got Bryce Young. So I don't know. They don't want no quarterback unless they're going to trade Bryce Young. Then the Jets, well, now I talked about this. Before the Jets picked Justin Fields, I said there were conversations that the Jets were planning to mortgage the farm to get Cam because they wanted Cam before they got Justin Fields. So I didn't know if they were going to pick another QB or not, but this is good information. I think Kiel might have shared something like this yesterday too. Kiel, did you share something similar yesterday? No, that was James because you live in Charlotte. Okay, that was James that shared that yesterday. That the Jets, the Giants, and the Panthers want the pick from Tennessee. And see, that's what I mean. I'm telling y'all, Tennessee want to keep their QB. Now, Will Levis was a second round QB. When they drafted him, they knew he wasn't a starter, but that's what they want to roll with. And I told y'all, they got some New York Giant tendencies, so I didn't want Shedeur to go there. Oh, I heard Shedeur's last workout with the Giants went well. I don't even know why it happened, but it did. It said they want a quarterback that has NFL experience. What I say is they usually do not start a rookie QB that's been an anomaly. That's rare. That was some cases they hitched their wagon to one. I mean, it depends on who the rookie is. I mean, we talking about Shedeur Sanders. We ain't talking about anybody. We not talking about JJ McCarthy. We talking about Shedeur Sanders. I heard somebody say they didn't want JJ McCarthy to start this year either. And wasn't he there last year? I'm like, I don't know what's going on with that. Cleveland fell back off of talks 3 weeks ago. Can it change? Who knows? Yeah, I just don't see Cleveland at number 2 trading up to get nobody. I think Cam Ward, if he don't go to Tennessee, I think Cam Ward going to Cleveland, and Travis going to shift to the Giants, or he going to shift to Jacksonville. But right now, Travis is going to the Browns. And that could be the media. That's where the media want Travis to go. Because you got to watch the media. They trying to influence the teams. And that's really what's happening here. Like, the media is really trying to weaponize itself and have more power than they should have to say, if we say it, then that's what you should do. And say, let him go to the Saints for culture. He will succeed. Honestly, I'm telling you, the best move, the first move in this draft, the New Orleans Saints trade up to the Tennessee's pick and draft Shedeur Sanders. That's what needs to happen. Because I think it would be nice if the Steelers did it, but I don't see that happening. But I'm telling you, that's the best move in the draft. And then Cam goes number 2 to Cleveland. And number 3 can be Travis to the Giants. And number 4, McMillan to the Patriots. And number 5 to the Jaguars. Abdul Carter. And then 6, everybody else can just follow in. Ashton Jeanty. Yeah. Ashton Jeanty could go to Vegas. Once Vegas got Geno Smith, y'all notice I wasn't talking about them no more like that. It said Carolina has the 8th pick. Jets have the 7th pick. Giants got the 3rd pick. They all want to keep their current pick and capture the number 1. And I get that because I said they're gonna be a team because right now nobody has 2 picks in the first. I said somebody's gonna end up with 2 picks, and I wondered if somebody could get Travis and Shedeur, right? Because if you can get 2 first-round picks, that means you could get Travis and Shedeur. They both first-round picks. But based on who you're saying, Carolina, the Jets, and the Giants, yeah, Travis and Shedeur to the Giants. Now they desperate because their GM got to do something. He got to make some good moves and move on. I just don't see them doing that. But Carolina, they got Bryce unless they trying to trade. Oh, somebody did say it was going to be 2 trades in the first round. So somebody gonna trade up and have 2 picks, and then one or 2 teams is supposed to have two trades. People thought the trades were going to be the Giants trading Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, or Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson. It's one of the 3 those teams picking in the draft 1 to 10. We need a quarterback. In the first 10 drafts, the opportunity to take their pick. Okay. And I heard the Patriots want to move up. They want to trade up too. I don't know what they need though. I thought they were going to get Travis, but they have I can never remember his name. All I know is that's who Cardi B's dating. Whatever his name is, since they got him, I didn't think they were going to get Travis. I heard that they were done with their defense. So, okay, Kiel, you said it's one of these 10 teams. Okay, the Giants get Abdul Carter and Hunter. Y'all in trouble. It said Carolina looking at Abdul Carter and Jade Barron. Okay. Oh, that would be good if they got Abdul Carter down there in Carolina, because they already got Bryce Young on offense. And the last 3 games, if y'all go watch it, he balled out. He looked like the Heisman winner. Tennessee get 3 picks in 2025 and 2 picks in 2028. That number 1 pick is gone. Okay. So they're going to end up with 3 more picks than they already have. So how many picks, if they get 3 more picks, regardless of the round, if they get 3 more picks in the first round or whatever, because they trade their pick, don't they have 9 picks and then they're going to end up with 12? That's what you're saying? They're going to have 12 picks, James? Is that what you're saying? It says Shedeur is most ready QB in this class. Absolutely. Absolutely, Amber. And that's obvious. That's obvious. Nobody can deny it. Nobody can deny it at all. The media trying to come up with things. So the team, I'm like, I hope these teams making their own decisions. And they need to stop inviting the media. That's who they need to give some consequences to. You know what? Since the NFL should have done it. Since the media wants to disparage NFL draft prospects, we're going to go ahead and reduce the number of badges and press passes that we give y'all. Because you got to do better. And if they don't do that, then it's just going to continue. They need some consequences. And they need to have the ability to vote for MVP revoked. It should be their peers. There was a money situation in Atlanta. They paid them all that money and he got hurt. He wanted to come back, but he lost his starting position and he does not want to be the backup this year. I heard Tennessee might have been thinking of trading or acquiring Carson. Is that his name? No, not him. What's his name? Kirk Cousins' contract. I'm like, what? So they're going to have Will Levis and Kirk Cousins. Okay, well, I wish them well. I'm like, now, didn't you see him play this year? And you know who said he was going to end up playing badly? He said, because that's what happens with him. Cam Newton. Cam said, Kirk Cousins might start out good, but he called it. He actually said it because it's well known. And they still paid him all that money. The Falcons are going to have to move him, but they have so much money tied up in him. Horrible decision. Who's going to take on that contract? Tennessee was the only one that was thinking about it. What team is going to pay part of that salary like Denver had to pay with Russell? Well, Tennessee was thinking about it, but that was before they said they wanted to keep Will Levis. Went to Pittsburgh. The Giants freed up $95 million to get Stafford, but he stayed. So that means the Giants have money. Tyrone, Tracy, Neighbors, Carter, and Argenti or Hunter. Y'all better watch the draft, baby. We watching. I'm going to be live. I will be live. I need to find out what. I think it's coming on the NFL Network. Why is Target having a backroom deal with Reverend Sharp? He is gonna get a kickback by telling black people to go back to Target. I'm not going back to Target. I don't care what he say. I have fulfilled my needs elsewhere. That's all I'm gonna say. And no, I'm good. Sort of CEO of Target is feeling it, so just get them a few tokens. Yeah, well, that might have worked a long time ago, but with the age of social media, that's gonna spread like wildfire. And I don't even think it would. That might work for Al Sharpton, but it's not gonna work for us because we the ones spending the money. So no, no. It said the more logic scenarios, there would be 22 picks swapping for a 31 pick, or a third pick getting swapped for a fifth pick. A third pick swapped for a fifth pick. Okay. 22 picks swapped for the 31st pick, or the third pick getting swapped for the fifth pick. The fifth rounder. What you gonna get out the fifth round? Come on now. The difference so we can get our revenue back. San Fran, Baltimore, Miami has 11 picks. Jacksonville and Dallas have 10 picks. That's why they say Shiloh gonna end up at Dallas. And New England, Carolina, Cleveland, and Chicago have 9 picks. Amber say, how about the Browns thinking Flacco and Kenny Pickett being their QB? Joe Flacco isn't even good. These teams are dumb. They need a QB but won't take one. I think the Giants' hands, the GM is being forced. Now, y'all know the Browns been courting Shedeur since the Shrine Bowl. Remember? Then it became the Combine. Then remember Shedeur had the little hats on his backpack. The Vikings, the Saints, and the Browns. He didn't have the Raiders. He didn't have the Giants. Yeah, he didn't have them. But he still could end up falling to the Giants, though. So this is going to be interesting how it all works out. But I will be live right here. You know, and this will be a place for us to talk about some things because we know, if Coach Prime is on vacation because he know it's going down, he's going down. And this will be our place to our what they call it, a safe space to talk about and talk about how we feel when things don't go as they probably should. So we're gonna get ready to get out of here. Y'all were wonderful tonight. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. When you have time, Google all the fifth round picks in the NFL draft in history. You'll be surprised. You know what? I probably won't be. I'm gonna go do it tonight. Thank you for that, James. Because if I'm not mistaken, Tyreek Hill was either a fifth round pick. No, yeah. Tyreek Hill was an undrafted free agent. And after the combine, his draft stock rose to the fifth round. I do believe that's the case. So that's a good exercise. I'm going to check out the fifth round picks, and we might talk about some of the surprising fifth round picks. And Tom Brady, when did he get drafted? Because he didn't get drafted high either. And look at where he is. Look at where he is. All right. So I will do that. Thank y'all so much. This was awesome. This was awesome. We're going to all pray together, keep Shedeur in our prayers. And whatever God decides is what we're gonna accept. And we know God can make the crooked places straight. So I'm gonna get out of here. We're gonna say goodnight. What is New York Giants tendencies? We got for a Super Bowl. You don't know what the New York Giants tendency is? Come on, Kiel. How many black starting quarterbacks have y'all had? None. That's your tendencies. You're not choosing the best quarterbacks out here. You're choosing based on racial politics. That's the tendencies of that organization. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. James, I will go look up the fifth round picks. Thank you for that suggestion. He was the last pick overall. Oh, Brady was a sixth round pick. Thank you for that, Amber. A sixth round pick. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look that. I've never thought to do that. Okay, I'm gonna go do that. Thank you, James, and thank you, Amber. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Kiel, and everybody else. Gracie, my ride or die. I appreciate y'all. Let there be 33. There's 33 of us here. Let there be 33 likes. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're returning, make sure you hit the like button and put on your calendar. We're watching the NFL draft. We will be watching day one on April 24th at whatever time it come on. And the day before, we'll confirm the time. And we're going to be right here live. Make sure you get your snacks on deck. And there's going to be plenty to talk about. But I will see y'all tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll probably continue our conversation about the 7 days of the NFL draft. I think now we probably down to 5, 5, something like that. So I'll see y'all tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't heard me say that, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. We really have a community. I'll see y'all for us to commune on draft night. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, welcome fam, it's Survive. Break it down, talking sports, hard and hustle. Wear the crown, subscribe to the journey. Don't sleep on the grind. Hit the like button. Come on, don't be blind. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes. Together we rose, reaching higher and higher. From hoops to the griddle, we cover it all. Champions rise and together we never fall. Join the fam, we celebrate every win. What she said, let's meet where the passion begins. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes. Together we rose, reaching higher and higher. Welcome aboard, let's make it loud. What she said, rip her out of the crowd.